Hey, I'm Carl from electricbikeblog.com, and I'm here with Josh from lunacycle.com, and here we're looking at the KHS 3000 fat bike, and it's an awesome bike.
Yeah, this is one of my favorites for sure. I love the tires on this thing. I mean, they look like you could just go anywhere. This is the monster, the Luna monster right here, really. I mean, this thing is just stout. It looks like you could just roll over boulders with these. This is like a rock crawler.
This is the Snowshoe XL, which the only tire that's bigger than this is the Snowshoe 2XL, which would actually looks like it would probably even fit in this frame, the 2XL. I mean, it's like, yeah, this is a monstrous tire.
But yeah, the combination of that on a fat bike and then having the HD with the Mighty Mini.
Oh, the Mighty
I mean, you can climb anything with that combination.
Yep.
This is just like the best. And then you can air these down, you get a lot of cushion. This is just, I mean, I like full suspension, but the traction isn't there, you know? All the full suspension bikes have the little skinny tires.
Well, and full suspension in the winter, there's not really, like, you run into problems with the cold if you're riding in the snow with the full suspension. Like,
that makes sense.
For riding on the snow, this is the bike to have.
So what's missing off this, though? I know you're going to say it.
Well, you know, if it was me, I would get it with the ludicrous controller. So
oh, that's not what I thought you were going to say. There was something else.
No.
But tell them about that.
50 amp ludicrous controller. You know, basically Lunacycle is the only place to get it, and I've been riding the 50 amp controller for a year, and I haven't burned the thing out, and it is over the top fun. Now, with the 50 amp controller, you can't use a Shark Pack because it won't put out the amps. The Shark Packs max out at 30 amps. You just can't fit a 50 amp BMS in those packs, so you would need to put a triangle. So if this was my bike, I would do a triangle or a backpack battery running at 50 amps with a ludicrous, and then this thing, you know, if you set it up tubeless, you'd be able to go through easily 8 inches of powder, you know. And when you're riding with a 50 amp controller and the powder, it's like endless powder. It's like snowboarding in the woods. It's really, the other thing I would do is throw a thud buster.
That's what I was waiting for. Yeah.
All my bikes have a thud buster. I actually have 4 thud busters, and I just swap them around from different bikes. And then basically I just use shims on my bike. So I buy the 27.2 inch thud buster, and then I put a shim in every single one of my bikes, and then I just pull out, you know, the thud buster on one bike and put it in another bike, and every single receiving hole is a 27.2, and I don't have to worry
that's
about
the best way to do it.
The problem with doing that is I burn through a lot of seats, you know, because my big ass, it's like totally bony, and I'm constantly breaking seats. I break a seat about every month, and then I just throw them away.
So it's just the ass. It's not like the overall size of you that's causing this issue.
Well, it could be the way that I ride too. I like it like an idiot.
Okay.
You know, so, and I'm sure that doesn't help.
But yeah, like you were saying, with this frame, you can fit that triangle bag and a nice big battery in there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you could fit a 24 amp hour in there, and that would be an amazing pack on this bike.
And it's really, like, the setup on this is really nice. I really like the hydraulic brakes. It's got a 180 in the front and a 160 in the rear. I really feel strongly like that's an optimal configuration, you know, because you really want most of your stopping power in the front. And then looks like a 10-speed cassette. Yeah, that's nice. It's nickel-plated steel, and you know what? This is the way to go. Nickel-plated steel on your bikes, because they don't wear down, they don't break, and you don't get the taco effect on the big ring. And look at the size of that, the biggest cog on that. I mean, that's like insane. You would be able to climb. There is probably almost nothing that you wouldn't be able to climb with the Mighty Mini and that cog.
As long as you can keep it from wheeling over.
Right, so your nuts are going to be up against the display.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this thing is going to climb anything, you know. It's just insane.
Yep, definitely one of my favorites, this bike. I mean, I always lean towards the giant tires, and, you know, I like the rigid tail with, like you were talking about, suspension seat post, and then put some decent suspension on the front.
Yeah,
and then you're good to go.
For the summer, you could get away with just having one bike, you know. But the thing is that this has a through-hole axle, so you could throw a Bluto on here, and, you know, I know Luna just started carrying the Bluto forks, and they're only $500, you know. You can just throw a Bluto fork on that, and you're good to go.
Yeah, that makes this a really, really cool bike once you got the suspension seat post and the suspension in the front. And if you really wanted to get hardcore, like you're talking, the battery and the ludicrous, and then you just, the whole bike becomes...
I got to tell you, man, if you're spending this much money on a bike, you're crazy to not consider getting a Ludicrous. Am I right? I mean, how much extra is it? Like a couple hundred bucks?
Yeah, I think it's like 250,
and it's a totally
300.
different
Yeah.
experience. You're getting like 40% more power. Now, I know you've ridden the Ludicrous controller a lot.
Would
you consider buying a BBSHD on a bike like this without a Ludicrous controller for the extra $200?
You know, I love the Ludicrous. I mean, I love the HD in general. I would say that for the most, I would not do it without the Ludicrous, just because now I've gotten to the point where I'm riding trails that you just wouldn't even consider without it. But I mean, even with it, I still can't. It's got so much power, it'll climb it. It's just I can't keep the front tire on the ground, or the back tire spinning,
it's really hard.
But yeah, I mean, I definitely would say that if you're going to be doing any kind of hardcore trail riding where you're climbing hills, you want it, definitely.
You want the Ludicrous. Yeah. I mean, that's my feeling too. But it's an interesting bike, and you know, there's nothing else out there on the market that's like the 50 amp BBSHD. So you just can't really get it anywhere else, and you really can't even build it yourself. Like, if you try to build this bike up with a Bikes Direct bike, you can build a build that's very similar to this, but you're not going to be able to get the 50 amp drive.
Yeah, I'm not even sure that you can build a Bikes Direct bike for less than what it costs you to just buy this whole package.
If you looked at this for Bikes Direct, you'd be looking at the FB5, which is about $900 just for the bike, and the tires on the FB5 are crap. So then you're looking for about $250 on tires, just on tires, and then you got to buy the controller and the battery. When you add all that up, you're not saving any money, and you got to do it yourself. So, yep. It's over the top. Great bike, great design.
Yeah, definitely one of the best, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so can we do the close up now?
Yeah, let's do it.
We'll do a walk around.
You ready?
Yes.
So this is the KHS 3000, and we're just going over the components on it. This bike is absolutely over the top, crazy, mad, awesome. And you can see it's got the BBSHD with a 30 tooth Mighty Mini, which is a great chain ring for this bike. It allows you to basically plow through any amount of snow almost and go up pretty much any hill. And it also has hydraulic brakes. It's got the X9 derailleur, which is pretty much the highest level of derailleur that I usually go for is the X9. More than that, you're just kind of wasting your money. It's got the Snowshoe XL tires. These are insanely fat. It's a 5-inch tire, and hands down. And it's got the 10-speed nickel-plated steel cassette, which is really what you want for the BBSHD. I mean, that really is the right cassette. And it looks like it's got a 36 tooth cog on the granny, which is really, it's just a great tooth to have. And you can get this with the Shark Pack or a Triangle Pack. It also, you can be bought with the Ludicrous controller, the 50 amp controller. The Shark Packs are great if you're running the stock BBSHD, but if you're running the Ludicrous controller, you're going to need something that'll do 50 amps continuous, and that pack will not do 50 amps continuous. It'll only do 30. So, but the GA pack is my favorite Shark Pack. I ride it pretty much all the time, and I haven't had a single problem with it. Up here, you've got some really nice hydraulic brakes, X7 shifter, really high quality components for, this bike, literally for the price that they're selling it on the website, this is what you're getting. It's like $2,300, and without the motor and without the battery, it's a great deal. I mean, this is just for a fat bike of this level of quality. It's got sun rims, and it's got 180 disc, which is great, huge stopping power. It's got a 160 in the rear, which is more typical of what you'd see for a rear. And it's just, what do you think, Josh?
Yeah, I think it's awesome. And on the site, you have a couple options that you can do, like the gear sensor, which I always recommend to people. That's always great, because then you don't have to worry about destroying your derailleur when you shift. Yeah, so that's a good option. And then, like you were saying, you can put a triangle bag in there and put a big triangle pack in there. So if you do want the Ludicrous, you get the 50 amp BMS and all that good stuff. Thud buster for sure.
Oh, you gotta have a thud buster.
Yeah, and then the Bluto up in the front. It's already got a through axle hub, so it's a quick change to put a Bluto on there, save you some money.
You can throw this tire on a Bluto, so this, I can tell just by looking at it, it's wide, but it's gonna fit. It's about the same size as a Surly Bud or a Lou, and it should fit with a little bit of clearance on either side.
You know what, the one thing that it really needs the most is mud. It needs some
mud.
snow or something on it. It's
Snow,
it's way too
this
clean
bike
right
is
now.
Way too clean, you know. And that's the thing. If you order a bike like this, the first thing you got to do is take it out and just throw it on the ground. So then all that anxiety about
Find a good
scratching
mud
nice
puddle.
bike, it's like, yeah, you just like it all goes away. Just like, oh, screw it. It's trashed already, and then you can go out and just ride it with impunity. And the first time
That's how you'll have the most fun.
You're not
Yep.
crying and being like, my bike, my
Yep.
bike, oh my god, what happened to my bike?
Yep, I agree.
But
Definitely.
this bike is so good, I would actually consider buying it, and that's not something I would say about many bikes. So
Pretty sure we're going to talk Carl into taking this one home with them.
It's crazy light. I mean, it's really, yeah, it's crazy light.
Yep.
I got no room for bikes.
There's always a way. There's always a way.
I'm gonna tell that to my wife.
Sounds like you need
Yeah.
a priority check.
Yeah, right. This is the nicest bike I've seen at Unicycle. Yep. Anything else you want to say about it?
No, I mean, I think that's pretty much it. Once you, you know, modify it to fit yourself, this is definitely kind of like an all-around bike. It does everything that you could need. It'll do off-road. It'll do cruising on the Strand.
Yeah, still.
You know, I
even
mean-
with the Mighty Mini, you're going to be able to go over 30 miles an hour.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to go plenty fast with that Mighty Mini.
With the Ludicrous, it's going to be a wheelie machine. It's going to be all wheelies all the time.
One thing that's new about this that I kind of like is the new wheels. They're kind of funky. I like the triangle cutout.
Cutouts, I haven't seen that, and I actually really like that too. You know, it's like they get more of the wheel cutout than with the holes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, all around, I don't have any, there's nothing that I would really say to improve except for, you know, the accessories that we talked about. Other than that, this thing is just amazing. It's a really cool bike.
Throw a thud buster on it, and you're good to go. And a blue toe.
And a Bluto. Yep. And maybe a big triangle pack.
I don't know. Actually, if you run with really low tire pressure, I don't like in the snow. I definitely don't feel like I need a blue toe.
Yeah.
It's like really the only time I feel like I want a blue toe is when I'm jumping, you know, and that's because when you're landing, it gets unpredictable.
I'm just a sissy. I just like that suspension, you know?
Yeah. You kind of look like a sissy.
Yeah.
Hey, you should get the Luna banana bike. That's kind of a bike with a sissy name. Josh,
Are you saying
banana
Luna's
bike.
selling bikes for sissies?
Yeah, they've got bikes for everybody.
No way. They're
even
all
for sissies.
hardcore.
No. Not everybody's hardcore.
Yeah, no, I think we need to get out and try some of these bikes is what we need to do.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. That's a cut.
Hey, let's do